The Alchemist. A story you thought you understood. It starts with a dream. A whisper in the night. A boy. A shepherd. A treasure buried beneath the sands of Egypt. But this isn't just his story, it's yours. Because if you've ever felt like something is missing, that there's a life waiting for you beyond the noise, then this isn't a tale, it's a roadmap. This is The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. And what seems like a simple fable, it's a deeply psychological journey about fate, about fear, about listening to your soul when the world wants you silent. Santiago is young, ordinary, a shepherd boy in Andalusia, but beneath his calm routine, something stirs. A recurring dream of treasure buried near the Egyptian pyramids. He could dismiss it, laugh it off, but dreams are never random. It's not the ones that linger. He meets an old man, Melchizedek, a mysterious figure who knows more than he should. Melchizedek tells him something that will echo through the rest of his life. When you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it. Sounds like magic, but it's psychology, deep psychology. Because when you truly want something, you start noticing signs. You lean into discomfort, become someone else. That sentence, it's not about luck, it's about alignment. So Santiago makes a terrifying decision. He sells his sheep, leaves home, and begins. He doesn't know it yet, but he just stepped into the desert of himself. He arrives in Tangier, full of hope, innocence, trust, and he's robbed. Everything gone. And just like that, the dream feels like a mistake. But this is the test. The first wall, the gatekeeper moment. The universe doesn't ask, are you interested? It asks, are you willing to lose who you were for who you're meant to become? Santiago could have gone home. Nobody would have blamed him. But instead, he adapts. He works at a crystal shop. He listens, watches, he learns, sees the crystal merchant, a man who once had dreams too, but chose comfort over courage, routine over risk. And Santiago realizes something chilling. Regret isn't loud, it's quiet, daily, invisible, and it grows like rust. So he saves up and walks on. Now, not just chasing treasure, but running from a future that looks like the crystal merchant. He joins a caravan crossing the desert. It's an ancient symbol. The outer journey slows, but the inner one accelerates. He meets the Englishman, a seeker of knowledge, book-smart, restless, obsessed with alchemy. But something's missing. The Englishman studies transformation. Santiago begins to feel it. Because deserts strip you down, they take your comforts, your distractions, and what's left is what's true. The desert doesn't speak with words, it speaks through silence, and Santiago learns to listen. He watches the omens, the hawks, the wind, and he begins to understand. Wisdom doesn't come from knowing, it comes from becoming. At the oasis, Santiago meets Fatima. It is love. It is sudden, deep, and it is real. She is not a detour, she is a test. Because love that chains you isn't love. Love that fuels you, that's sacred. Fatima tells him to go. She doesn't beg, she believes. Santiago understands. The right person won't pull you off your path. They'll remind you why you started walking. He promises to return. It's not because she demands it, but because she doesn't. He meets him, the one they speak about in whispers, the alchemist. Not a magician, not a guru, a mirror. The alchemist doesn't give answers, he gives friction, he says. To realize one's destiny is a person's only real obligation, and more. Listen to your heart. It knows all things. But here's the truth. Your heart will lie. It will scream in fear. It will tell you to turn back. And Santiago must learn to hear through the noise, because fear is the last guardian of transformation. The alchemist pushes him further, harder, into the place where ego dies. And then comes the final test. Captured, outnumbered, accused, told to perform the impossible, turn into the wind. He laughs at first, but then he steps forward. He speaks to the desert, the wind, the sun, the hand that wrote the world, and he becomes still, becomes one, becomes wind. Because he remembers transformation doesn't come from force, it comes from surrender. He arrives, the dream made real. The pyramids rise like gods from the sand, he digs. And again, he is robbed, beaten. The treasure is gone. this time, he doesn't break. Because this time, he's not the same boy. And then one of the robbers mocks him. I had a dream once. Treasure under a tree in Spain. And everything clicks. The dream sent him away. Not to take him to gold, but to take him to himself. The treasure was always at the beginning. But Santiago could not have seen it without the journey. He goes back to the tree, back to the ruined church where he once slept. He digs, and there, beneath the earth, is the gold. But he doesn't laugh, he doesn't cry. He kneels in silence, because now he knows the gold is not the reward. The gold is a metaphor. The real treasure, the courage it took to leave, the pain that taught him to trust, the love that taught him to let go, the silence that taught him to listen. He isn't a shepherd, he isn't a seeker, he isn't lost. He is the alchemist now. This story wasn't about Santiago, it was about you. You who have dreams you pretend are just ideas. You who keep hearing the whisper but stay silent. You who've been robbed, who've walked deserts, who've met your Fatima but left anyway. You who may be standing at the pyramids right now, wondering why it still feels empty. It's because the treasure isn't there, it's in you. Your legend isn't something you chase, it's something you become. The world doesn't hand it to you, it conspires, yes. But only after you commit, after you lose, break, transform. The fear you feel, that's proof you're close. The silence you're in, that sacred space. The love you still remember, it's not gone, it's waiting for the version of you who can hold it. So go, walk, fall, dig. Because this isn't fiction, this is your call. So treasure is you. You are not meant to find the treasure. You are meant to become it. And now, your journey begins. Summary: why this book still matters. The Alchemist is not a novel. It's a transformation manual. Santiago is not a character. He's an archetype. This story is not about gold. It's about remembering yourself. Coelho's brilliance lies in disguising depth as simplicity. What looks like a parable is layered with Jungian psychology, mythological symbolism, and emotional truths that hit harder the older you get. This book tells you, you have a personal legend, and ignoring it isn't safety. It's spiritual starvation. It tells you the treasure isn't far away. It's hidden behind everything you're afraid to face. It whispers the desert is not empty. It's the most honest place on earth. So read this book when you've lost faith. Reread it when your heart is loud, but your path is dark. Because in the end, the Alchemist doesn't just show you a treasure. It shows you how to become it.